Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Choosing Well. I'm always so excited to have these chats with all the special people that come on our show. And this month is no less special. We have a very popular person. I'm sure you people know him. But his name is Jesse Dan-Yusuf. He's got a really cool name as well. And he does lots of cool things. But I'll let him introduce himself. Please, Jesse, tell us a little bit about yourself and welcome to Choosing Well.
Thank you, Nana-Hauwa. Excited to be here. Um, my name is Jesse Dan-Yusuf. I am from Plateau State. I am a creative entrepreneur. I run a creative studio called Fireworks. I help businesses build brands, but I am also a pastor. We are planting a church called One City Abuja, right in the heart of Abuja, and we are, by the grace of God, building a gospel-centered church for everyone, everywhere. Father of two, Eden, Evergrace. Evergrace just turned 5. Eden is 18 months, and yeah, God is faithful. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, mention where you're from because I'm sure there's lots of people from Plateau State that tune in and they'll be like, fantastic, one of our own. I know you guys actually, I don't know what it is that's in the water over there, but there's lots of creative and talented people from
You
your
mean
side of
Plateau
the
Jos
country.
people that we? Yeah. I
I've
truly
noticed
don't
it.
know. Some of the most creative people I know either are from Jos or grew up in Jos. Like it, I really don't know. It's really amazing, truly.
It just goes to show the intentionality of God and how He
Yeah.
gives each and every person a unique gifting. So people from a certain
Mm,
type may have this, but there's always something that everyone has to offer.
mhm.
It's really good. But you said you're a creative person. You built a studio called Fireworks. You're a pastor. So obviously you can sort of dabble in different things. When you look back at the different versions of yourself over the years, what do you feel has remained consistent beneath all the evolutions and the different parts of yourself that you express?
Interesting question. So I am recently just agreeing, and I say agreeing because I think I fought it. I thought there were different sides of me, but it's actually the Lord just telling one story through my life.
Mm,
So yes, I am an entrepreneur, but a creative and a pastor. And I tried to wear different masks. I mean, those are different containers, right? I know, but come to the realization that it's just one story the Lord is trying to tell. And I tried for years to separate these worlds, but I failed at it, right? And looking back, I won't say I've dropped much. What I have grown into is a
mm.
deeper understanding of who I am, who God says I am, I believe He has called me to, and how that plays out in my life, if that makes sense. So when I look back in retrospect, I'm just okay. I see all the threads that the Lord was pulling and He's pulling, and it's almost now I'm starting to like it makes sense. So
Mm.
I am a pastor and I'm a creative entrepreneur. The day He asks me to drop any one of them, it's time to do something else, I'll obey. But I've just learned it's one story, and it's in obedience that I get to understand it fully.
Yeah, I love that. I think usually I ask this question at the end of the episode, but I feel like I should ask you now. If you
Okay.
could to Jesse at 17 or 18,
Mm.
knowing all that you know now, coming to this realization, what would you say to him to sort of help him ease into it better or just carry that season better where he's not just feeling confused or chaotic? Like, what would you say to him that you think would really help?
Honestly, teenage Jesse was so anxious and angry.
Mm,
And I will tell him to find God early because every other thing will make sense. Even understanding the pain that he was going through at the time. Because teenage Jesse was recovering from seeing my father and my stepmother separate.
mm,
So there was a little bit of that anger that I still had, and tell him to find God early because everything will make sense. So I was mad at God. I was
mm,
mad at the church. Don't talk to me about Jesus. Don't bring that stuff near me. I don't want it. God is the cause of everything that's happening in
mm.
my life right now. And I will just encourage him to find God. And then every other thing will follow. Healing
So what would
and
that Like for him, finding God, what does that mean?
I think answers to the many questions I had, like why am I going through what I'm going through? Why suffering? Why death? Why pain? Will there ever be joy? You know, what is the meaning of my life? Is there a purpose? Do I have a purpose? Right? What's my identity? I don't have to be someone else. I have to
Mm,
just be who the Lord has made me fully. So I think those answers would have really, really helped me at the time. Because I just looked at church through the lens of religion.
mm,
Yeah, and just it was just something you had to do, just religion and rituals. But
yeah.
I believe my questions would have been answered. Like, what am I doing here? Is there purpose to my pain? What am I supposed to do with the rest of my life? How can I help the people around me that are going through what I'm going through? I think, yeah.
How did you start to sort of get clarity on some of these questions that you just asked about? Is there any purpose to this pain? Did you say prayer? Did you find community? What did that look like for you? I'm just trying to help paint a picture so that someone can actually know what to do.
So there was a season in uni, the Lord started to arrest me and my group of friends. And it was very annoying because it was just this person started getting born again. And I was one of the last to get born again. I was sitting with no sign. So we actually went to school fellowship that day. I don't know if you know NIFES. You know NIFES? NIFES is a fellowship, Nigerian Fellowship of Evangelical Students. So they have fellowships all around universities. So Nosa and I went to look for, I can't remember if it was me that was going to look for a girl or him that was going to look for a girl. I just know we were together. I was sitting
I
together.
had this feeling.
It was in the fellowship that day. I just heard a sermon, and next thing I know, I'm at the altar repenting. And
Mm,
this is 2010, almost 16, 17 years ago. So, Jesus. Wait, is my math right?
yes, 16.
Hey, we don't all do. So,
Yeah, teenager.
that's it. So I just started that journey. And at the time, my friends also were going through the same challenges. So we found preachers and teachers
Mm,
teaching on the purpose of life, on the meaning of life. Is there anything? Many of the
mm,
teachings that we were not seeing in our immediate altars. So honestly, I was blessed that the Lord was arresting my friends, and we were
mm,
almost all of us were going through the same challenges theologically, psychologically, spiritually. We were finding the answers to the things. So, and I'm still friends with these guys to this day, to this day. And that was such a blessing. So we helped watch our backs. We used to pray for each other. Some of us are married. We're still praying for each other. That is my community, my deep,
mm.
deep, deep, deep community.
Yeah,
So that's where it all started.
yeah. And when you had those experiences and you were learning and growing, did all the answers just get magically, like all the questions, they just get magically answered? You're like, yes, I know everything now. Let's go.
No, 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 no. So the first thing that happened to me was an overwhelming sense of being loved by God. And
Mm,
I'm sure you understand it's not something that we can rationally explain. There's just this deep knowing and assurance that I had. Because, like I said, going through what my family went through, I thought, if God is the God of love, why will I be going through what I'm going through? And there was just that reassurance that I had. So as I studied the word more and I pursued his word, and just I found teacher and I'm talking about Christian apologists, right? Christian apologetics. It gave us answers to the questions we had, and I'm truly, truly blessed by that.
mm. Okay, that's really good. Thank you. I know that
So
wasn't part of the questions, but I just thought we needed to dig a little deeper into that. So I'd love us to switch to Firebox. Tell us a little bit about it. Is it the same idea it was from the beginning? How long has it been going? How has it been over time?
fireworks. So after I was doing an MBA program, it was online, but it was kind of hybrid too because I had the opportunity to go to the UK to do some things in the school, submit my projects, all those things. And I was in London and I was just asking God, what do you want me to do with my life? And I was praying about it. And I knew there were jobs to do with social media, but I did not know what exactly. So it was just stewing in my brain. And I will not forget, I was sleeping on my friend's couch in London and I was praying and I heard the name Fireworks. And I knew it was to do with storytelling and
Mm.
social media or online storytelling. And to confirm, one of my friends texted me on WhatsApp and said, bro, I've been trying to reach you. I said, oh, I'm not in the country. He said, oh, I have a job for you, a social media job. I think you can do this. So this is like, I got the name today and somebody confirmed the next, which was crazy. So I came back to Nigeria, registered the company, had the idea for the logo, and I started doing social media jobs for people. But when I started doing social media jobs for people, they wanted more. So they were like, man, I wish I had a website, or I wish somebody could do this for me. And I'm like, oh, I know this guy that can do a website. I know this person that can do X, Y, Z. And I'll talk to Peter and I'm like, Peter, man, I'm getting all these jobs. I think we can work together and stuff. I talked to other creatives. And so I did not even know what a creative agency was.
Yeah.
So it was one of my friends that was like, oh man, this is what I'm trying to build. And he was just like, oh, you're trying to build a creative agency. And that's because he was working in one of the top creative agencies in Nigeria. So
Mm.
that's when I now started learning on how to build. And so Peter came on board. I just brought in some other guys and I started having ideas and ideas that we wanted to
Mm.
do that we were even doing. And it was great. And then 2019, I did business with someone that's a politician that I shouldn't have done business with. We learned.
Mm.
So he made promises he didn't keep.
Mm.
And me being naive also over made promises to other people and stuff, which now landed me in so much trouble. And unfortunately had to kind of like, so this is between 2019, 2020, 2021, had to downsize, had to get rid of the studio, the staff, had to sell off equipment to
Mm.
pay off stuff, pay back people. And then because of how much I was hurt by what happened, I stopped taking jobs.
Mm.
But people will always come back and meet me. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. But there are people who will insist there's
Mm.
nobody else that will do this thing. And I saw that also as God just saying there's still something here. And then take jobs once in a while. And I just said, okay, I'm just going to focus on pastoring. But
Mm.
it still, fireworks could not leave me, so to speak. So right now, in the past 1 year, I've been rebranding. It's still the same thing in the sense that fireworks is at the heart of it. I want to help people tell stories at the heart of it. How that fleshes out is through storytelling, brand building, web development, photography, and all. So I've come to, in my creative career, I've come to the realization that I am a creative director. I'm able to see things and tell stories and map out things and pull things together, pull the people that need to do what needs to be done together. And so Fireworks is now a creative studio and our core offering is creative direction for visionaries. So that's where we are in 2026.
Mm.
But over the years, yeah, so just from 10 years ago, literally in someone's
Yeah.
couch, September 2016 in London, praying and asking God what to do, got the name, got validation that I was supposed to do this, started it, grew, overgrew, crashed, came back, and rebranding. That's the short 10
Yeah.
years story. My
I
goodness,
love
10
it
years.
so much. And I have
Well,
so many questions, but I'm trying to like pace myself because I think it's really good to hear stories like this because God gives you an idea. It doesn't mean that it's always going to be like perfect throughout the whole journey of the process. I love what you said about when you worked with a politician, and it's something that I think a lot of us will face, that temptation to compromise, for lack of a better
yeah.
word, and not do our due diligence. So even if God has given you an idea straight, fresh from heaven, there's still certain structures and processes that need to be put in place to ensure that you're
Absolutely.
stewarding that idea well and stewarding it the way that God would want you to do it as well. So I think it's just a really important lesson that a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people need to be able to hear and not have to repeat on their own. And I love how God kept insisting. He's like, yeah, sure, you made mistakes. Yeah, you crashed out, but I still have chosen you and I still think you're worthy for this idea. I think the
But
question I want to ask is, why do you think this matters to God? This storytelling.
God is the chief storyteller.
Mm,
He has written a story and he wants us to be part of that story.
mm,
What we are doing in time is just discovering our place in his story.
mm,
I grew up loving stories. I now started learning how to tell stories. I now started learning how to tell business stories and now creative storytelling when it comes to brand business. And even, when you read my essays or my newsletters. So I think innately that's something the Lord just placed in me. I love stories. I just
mm.
love stories. And I believe he's a storyteller.
Yeah,
He has written a book of stories showing us his grand plan and how he wants us to be a part of it.
yeah,
Now, when it comes to the business of storytelling, it's something I had to learn and relearn and discover because at my heart, the heart of it all, I'm a creative. And I don't want to sound cliche, but often creatives are not good business, are not really business driven. There's just
mm,
a mindset of it will not just work out. If I'm
mm,
good enough, it will work out. If I'm good enough, people will pay for this. If I'm good
mm,
enough, don't be so hard. I had to learn number one, if you don't tell your story, nobody will tell it for you.
mm,
If you don't loud your story, if you don't tell people that they need what you if you don't go out and tell people that you can help them, nobody will come to you. And I just had that mindset for a while. So I found myself being jealous and envious of
mm,
people who were not as good as me,
mm,
who I felt were not as good as me, but were getting more jobs. But they were doing the work. They understood the business of it. And it took me a while to kind of get that. Uh, I just thought that because I'm good at what I do, business will come, you know. If any creative is going to listen to this or when they listen to this, is building a creative business. There's the business of creativity. And in fact, it's now something I teach because I have the opportunity or people now know me or because of fireworks or that
yeah.
Jesse is the pastor and he's kind of creative. I find myself discipling people on not just the spirituality of creativity, but the business of creativity.
I was going to ask, do you teach it? Because I think it's something that a lot of people need. And the way the world keeps evolving, I think, well, me personally, I believe we're all creative.
We are.
But I also think that in the dispensation that we're in, the creativity spirit is very like it's
Yeah.
jumping about everywhere. So we're all expressing it in a way. And I think more people need to understand what the business side means. Because as stewards, like I keep saying, like you're gonna be called to account. I gave you 2 talents. What's up? And you'll be like, oh, I didn't know the business side, so take your 2 talents. No, that's not gonna cut it.
It's not a skill I have, or me, I don't like math, or
Mm,
me, I don't like finance. I lie you. Go and learn it.
yeah.
Go and learn. So I
Mm,
had to learn. And I remember when I started implementing some of these things, I was just like, why not I do it long time ago?
yeah.
In fact, one of the things I learned was about premium pricing
Mm,
because speaking about having different characters where you asked earlier, I was in the business world, I was more of a pastor than a
mm,
entrepreneur. So when I started learning some things and because I'll always get frustrated by people low pricing me, I'm like,
mm,
can't you see me and my team? Can't you? And I'll just maybe take the job because I just needed to settle one bill or the other, but end up getting very frustrated by it. And when I learned premium pricing and when somebody paid me my first big check and she did not argue,
mm.
I said, what? I was like, why have I not been doing this? Honestly, Christian creatives learn the business of creativity. Even as a pastor, you cannot be ignorant of the finances of the church because I've learned that numbers tell a narrative. Numbers tell a story. I know sometimes it gets into a touchy subject because some of us overcorrect, thinking, oh, I don't want to. It's not just about the numbers.
It's an important aspect of it. I remember briefly being financing your church.
Yeah, and it really, really helped us at the time because you brought in some much needed structure that I basically had no idea about at the time.
Yeah,
And in fact, some of the things you shared, we're still using today.
I'm glad to hear that. I think it's something that we all, even me as a finance professional, struggle with because in the past I'm like, I just want to help people. I just want to, but what I realized that there's so many different dynamics in play and people being able to actually put money down, for me, it's like a seed showing that you're actually ready. You're ready to do the work. It commits you to it.
Yes.
And then aside from that, there's so much work to be done. If I'm not able to get any money from these talents that God has given to me, how do I expand? How do I do more? It's not
Yes.
possible. So it's both sides need to be able to understand the importance of numbers and values. Yeah, there's so much to learn, and I'm sure Jesse will send us whatever links that we need to go to register for a class or whatever, because I truly believe that more and more people now will have their own businesses. Most of us are working businesses, and God is going to keep giving so many ideas. And it's no longer the point of just, it's not me, blah, blah, blah. Even if you don't have a strength in that aspect, like partner with someone that you have the same values that they'll bring this to the table and you bring that to the table and you work together, but you have to still keep learning and growing. You can't just not know things. No, so looking back at the story that you shared, I know that there were some mistakes that you have already sort of touched on, but if you could pinpoint a specific one that really changed the way you approach your work, your leadership, even the way you conduct business, as you talked about, share with us a little bit about that.
So a couple, um, I wanted to do too many things at the same time,
Mm,
which stretched me as the team. I hired too fast. I
mm,
grew too fast. I hired too fast. And I did not fire fast enough.
that's another one. Yeah.
The numbers thing, absolutely. That again, from day one, I should have not had the mindset of just everything will work out. I should have put in structure from the beginning. Even if one of the things I should have probably done was hire VP of business or something, or business
Mm,
development or
business
something.
manager or something. Yeah.
Yes, or business manager. That would have really, really helped a lot. What else? Yeah, and there was one of my biggest mistakes was because I was ashamed of failing and I was now keeping things away from the team.
Mm,
They saw my part as not being transparent and sincere. And in many ways, that's true too.
mm,
So being open to the team and just making them understand this is what's going on, this is where we are, this is what we need to do. That really, really affected me. So
yeah.
transparency with just the dealings of what was going on internally. And for me, because I was now bringing spirituality into business, saying my business cannot fail. But
Mm,
dude, you have to pay salaries, you have to pay rent, you have
mm,
overhead you have to meet, you have other things, and I'm not bringing them on board on some things. And then the final one, that one of the biggest mistakes was I was so bent on pursuing that one job, the money from that one job,
mm,
because I wanted to get that huge sum
yeah.
and settle so many things. I now made poor business decisions because of it.
Mm,
So you should always be selling. You should always be telling other people. So I was like, man, I have this big contract I'm about
mm,
to get, and it's going to settle a lot of things.
yeah.
And I did not now pursue other things.
Yeah.
I hired too fast and did not fire enough. I should have been more transparent. Structure, business structure.
Mm.
I wanted to do too many things at the same time. Just because you're creative does not mean you should create everything.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question as well. It's like you've talked about having, so many ideas coming. How do you know when something is worth keeping and refining versus like actually we need to stop. We don't even need to try this idea or this isn't working out, we need to end it.
Yes, when creatives ask these questions to me now that I believe I'm a little bit wiser, my
Mm,
question to them is, how hungry are you?
mm,
So what I mean by that is, for instance, I'm running a business, right?
mm,
I needed to put out a product or a service that could consistently bring in revenue, that could take care of the house, the team.
yeah.
Not just chase creative ideas because, man, people are going to love this.
Mm,
So sometimes creatives, you can trap lightning in a bottle. But if you're running a business, I believe there are repeatable patterns you can follow to build a business.
mm,
You don't always have to be the one doing something nice. Some of my friends that are doing agencies, they are not as creative. Some of my friends are doing, very well in creative agencies. They are not doing the most creative work. They are
mm,
doing the business of doing creative agencies. So that's what Jesse should have done. So my business attracted a lot of creatives
mm.
and not and not clients.
Yeah. Mm,
So we got a lot of people who love what we did, but it did not translate to Naira and
mm,
Kobo.
yeah.
That's where I'm at. So what should you pursue? How hungry are you? If you're a young creative, you still have where you can stay. You need to pay rent in the next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Then you need to put out something that is going to bring in revenue. Or are you still living with your parents? Do you have runway that you can explore this creative idea
Mm,
that
mm,
hopefully you can monetize in the future? Because creatives have this itch that they must scratch. We want to, man, we've thought of something. We want to just build it out. But so my question is, how hungry are you? Do you need to feed yourself? Do you need to feed? If you don't have the weight of all those things, then you may explore some other thing. But it truly depends on what you want. But if you're going to build a business, then build a business. Don't just be creative for creative sake. Or what I'm doing now, and when I relaunch my website, you're going to see it. I have something called the Fireworks Labs.
mm,
So all those creative itches, just maybe brands or something that I just design them quickly and paste them. There's also a way of showcasing what I can do.
mm.
But it should not be done in a way that affects the core of the business.
Yeah. That's so good.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. It does make, I think it's a bit of a balance. You got to figure out what season you're in, like
You
going
have
back
to.
to what you were saying about being hungry. Are you like needing to actually pay bills ASAP? Then let's focus on that and
Mhm.
continue to build to make sure that we can cover that. If you've got a bit more flexibility, maybe this is like your hobby or
Mhm.
you've got a job that covers those things, then you can, have fun,
Yes, then you
have some
can.
fun with it.
Yes.
Yeah. So as you've made some of these transitions and you've learned so many lessons, what has that taught you about identity and purpose? I suppose sort of going back to that, some of the things you shared at the beginning when you were having those questions answered. Now that you've had all this experience with work and business, is there any links for you between all the transitions and still keeping your identity steady and your purpose as well? Has it made it clearer for you? Has it been more confusing? Has it felt like, oh, I didn't know what I was doing in the start, or actually I did know, but all of this has helped me refine it?
Yes, absolutely. It has helped me refine it. I'm definitely stronger and wiser. But at the time, I'll be really honest with you, I felt like a failure.
Mm,
And one of my friends who I really recommend as a guest, who you know as well, Vanessa.
Mm,
Vanessa told me, Jesse, failure is an event and not a person.
mm,
And that changed my life. I
mm,
mean, just hearing those words, because there was this weight that hung over me surrounding all that happened. And I felt ashamed. I
mm,
had lost so much money. Some of my friendships were fractured.
mm,
I had all these things. So there was just that anxiety and shame and guilt hanging over me. And the Lord used Vanessa to liberate me.
mm,
I was crying to one of my mentors, my brother-in-law as well. And I was saying, man, look at how much money I lost. And he told me how much money he lost in one deal one time.
mm.
I wiped my tears. It was times 100 or whatever.
Wow.
Those things just, okay, talk and
Yeah.
what failure that you failed at that. What are you learning? Go back.
Yes.
And it's not my identity. I am not
Yeah.
a failure. That event, even fireworks wasn't a failure.
Yeah.
The way I ran it at the time was
Yeah.
that event of it, that season is what I should process as
Mm,
failure. And that's a good thing because
yeah.
it gives me data to now be better. So in that season, honestly, I just found myself praying and very unrehearsed prayers, just cries from my heart, just pouring out my heart to the Lord, just through different people, my friends, my wife, the word of God, particularly. I started to rebuild my confidence in Him and in who He said I was. In fact, that whole season, I quit pastoring
Mm,
for a month, just crying out to God, look at what's happening. And he just said, when you're done, go back to what I asked you to do. I said, but can't you see people will laugh at me? Can't you see
mm,
this? Like, go back.
mm,
And I did. And that's 6 years now and for 5 years now. Wow, that's crazy.
mm. Yeah. Time flies, huh?
God is faithful. So
Yeah.
I believe I'm more confident
Mm,
in who I am.
yeah.
Absolutely. Failure is an event. You're not a failure. You are not what happened
Mm,
to you. And
yeah.
you need to learn how to separate those things, regardless, no matter what it is. Use it as information and let the Lord use it to bring you to the fulfillment of His plans over your life.
Having experienced these failures now, how does that impact some of the choices you make? Do you find that you are willing to take more bets now, or are you a bit more hesitant?
I won't lie. One of the reasons I was very hesitant taking jobs and just doing anything fireworks related, and I was just like, I'm just going to do church.
Yeah.
Was um, I gave a lot to fireworks, and I didn't get. I thought I did not get much back out of it.
Mm,
But it was Eva that truly, 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 truly encouraged me. She was like, bro, you're one of the most creative persons I know. I'm seeing your dreams die,
mm,
literally. And I'm not going to let that happen. 3 years ago, she threw me a surprise birthday party. I thought I was going for a speaking engagement. It was a gathering of my friends, my
mm.
church members, some of the creatives I had interviewed over time because I was I was in a creative community called Fireworks.
Yeah.
Campfire was a creative community of fireworks. And they came and they just truly supported me. And it was all, Jesse, we need you to come back.
Mm,
Need you to come back and do this thing. And it's one of the best things that has happened to me, honestly.
mm,
Truly, truly, I will never forget it. I will never, never forget it. So I'm grateful to my wife and my friends and you guys. So I did have a reluctance to come back, but Eva, you're like, she's not going to let that happen. This thing is not going to die. You're going to push it. In fact, I hosted Canvas a few months ago. The Canvas is now an amalgamation of everything Jesse the spirituality of creativity, the theology of creativity, the business of creativity. And I hosted the first one and I saw the response. Many people supported that. But he has been asking me, when's the next one? I'm like, and this, that. Before you knew it, the person speaks that someone had offered the space. He said, anytime. I said, I don't want to disturb him. I don't want to be a bother. And he attends our church. So after service, I saw her talking to him after service. On our way home, she was like, okay, I've booked X, Y, Z dates for you for the rest of
Yeah.
the. That's my wife. And I'm grateful to her. She really pushes me. She really
Yeah.
pushes.
May I ask why you think you're hesitating?
I think I know I'm better now, but I don't know. There's just still this part of me that help me. Your counselor.
Do you know the picture that's coming to mind is a football player, right? He's the best at whatever he does. He's the best player. But he has an injury and he falls and maybe he tears his ACL and football is his life. And he spends months not playing football. It's done a number on his mind.
Yes.
And he's healed now. His knee is healed. He's okay. But he's afraid. He's afraid because now he knows what that pain feels like and he knows what it means to not have this thing that he has made his life. And he's afraid that it can happen again. So he's not taking as many chances as he would usually do when he's playing football. And that's what made him special in the past, is that he was able to see things differently and just like go for it without overthinking. But now he's thinking 5 times before he kicks one ball. He's losing his spark. He's losing the reason why he loved football in the first place. So he has a choice to make. Is he going to play football or is he going to give it up? And if he's going to play football, then he needs to play it the way he knows how to play it. And that's with everything. No overthinking. Give it all that you have. And if you fall again, you already know that it's not the end of the world. Right? You heal again and you get back in there.
Wow.
That's why you do it.
Wait, it is the perfect analogy. You know why? I've heard Eva use it before, like to describe the situation. I will change. I'll repent.
There's been a lot. There's been a lot. I'm just trying to look at my questions because you've answered quite a few of them without me prompting you. So I'm just trying to figure out. So going forward now, after this conversation that we've had, what do you think choosing well looks like for you?
I'm really glad I had this conversation, particularly this last thing you said. I can see my wife watching this and doing like this, like side-eyeing me and like, hope you're listening because I know she said it several times. I will want to commit to, honestly, to you guys, to literally just what you said, to choosing to give everything. Because the Jesse, I mean, I'll say it here. The Jesse pre-2020 Jesse was a little bit more fearless. And I mean, I still do some, in quotes, crazy things, right? Replanting a church wasn't, easy. It was still a faith journey. But because someone like you who knew me before and after, you know that there's a Jesse that should be doing more, in quotes. And I will say I will commit to choosing just everything you said and hold me accountable.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, if you ask me to do that, I'll do it. You know it.
Said
I
it.
don't let up.
I said, should I have said it? No problem.
Yeah, I think the advantage that you have now that perhaps you've forgotten or maybe need to be reminded is those mistakes that you made helped you understand certain aspects of the business now. And that's giving you I don't want to say a container, but a structure. I find that if you want to have the most fun, you need to understand the basics. You need to have the foundations right. You have that now. So you should be having a lot more fun. Back then, you were playing on a pitch that has nails and bottles, broken bottles, and you were still doing kicking this, kicking that. But now, you've got a pitch that's been well manicured. It's got gates. There's nobody coming in to throw any funny thing there. So you should be doing more amazing moves.
Why do you have so many football analogies? What's happening?
Maybe God knows that's the way you're going to get it. I don't
But it's beautiful too. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on this show. I truly believe that guest has, I mean, there's so many things that have been happening in the background of my own life, but I think that this has sort of shifted things, and I needed to have you as a guest as well to take us to the next level. Your responses have been so honest, and I appreciate that so much. It's such a gift to have that with everything that's gone on. And I think it's just a beautiful way to reflect Jesus. So thank you for being our guest. Thank you, because I know that the story that you shared and the lessons that you shared will truly help so many people. So you were in the training ground previously, and now you've taken all those lessons and you're going to help so many people learn not on the petri bottles, but in a proper training academy. So thank you for that. Thank you for not letting up. And even when God insisted, thank you for listening as well, because we do always have free will and we can say no, but you chose to
Yeah.
say yes through it all. So I honor you for that. And I say thank you
Thank you so
for
much.
well done.
I appreciate it. Just to well done with all the work you're doing, and I truly hope to see many impacted by choosing well and the daughters community. Greater impact. Thank you. I hope I come back as a guest. Again, I'm putting it out there. I hope you bring me back. But thank you so much. God bless you.
I'm so glad that you're tuning in, everyone that's watching, even if it's not now, maybe later. And if you do have any questions or you're needing clarity or guidance, I'm sure we'll put some links in there to help you be able to get the support that you need. But don't be afraid and don't give up, even if you failed. It's part of learning and it's part of growing. And it's going to make a great story one day. If you've heard any of these, I don't know all their names, but all the popular guys doing amazing things, none of them have had it go smoothly because it's part of the ride. So enjoy your ride. Don't be too
Yeah.
safe and have a great time doing it.
Yes, ma'am.
And to all my believers, look, God wants you to have a great time as well, just like you're doing his work for him. Okay, so we'll see you guys next month. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Take care.